So here's episode 2.
Obesity costs the
Season
NHS
5.
more than £4 billion a year. And
Oh, I actually clicked on this earlier. Already, I think the narrator is arguably worse than Dr. Christian, because we are 6 seconds into this video and the narrator has already framed, and I'm not saying the narrator, the person, I have no idea who she is, but the way they write it. 6 seconds into this video, they have already framed obesity. They're not even fucking talking about people who are underweight here as a problem for the social program. Like, oh, it's cost us €4 billion a year, mate. That's fucking expensive just because people don't stop fucking putting food in their mouths. And it's just immediately the framing is like so aggressive and so anti like intuitiveness. Like immediately like it's their fault that you're costing us €4 billion a year. This is literally like what breeds like it's like the liberal thinking that breeds like in America, the like, well, I don't want to pay. I don't know why I went British for an American accent. Like, I don't want to pay into a single payer healthcare system. I don't want to pay for other people's health problems. Like, if you do it and everybody gets healthier, it's cheaper. It's cheaper. You can't be like, yeah, the NHS pays 16 billion quid a year on cancer research. I just wish they'd fucking kick it. And it's like, no, that's not what it's meant to do that. It's a social program. It's meant to provide value. You can't just be like, yeah, and our fucking taxes are saving lives or whatever the fuck. It's such an asinine line of thinking. Can you believe that the United States Postal Services costs us money every year? Can you believe that?
at the other end of the scale, an estimated 1.6 million people are affected.
The fire department, bro? Bro, the fire department? They have to pay money to spray water on fires? I have to pay for that? Somebody else's house burns down and I have to pay for that? Burning buildings cost 3 billion quid a year. Okay, good. If that's what it takes.
Eating disorders. Radical action is called for, so Dr. Christian summoned together 16 people with disastrous diets who all desperately need to ditch their dangerous eating habits before it's too late.
My house burned down.
I'm bringing all the supersizers and the...
I mean, look, is there superfluous like taxation and like funding issues with stuff? Yeah, for sure. But like, it's insane to complain about something that's inherently good, such as like affordable healthcare. Hey, I'm all for hashtag defund the fire department. Honestly, I think they've had it too good for too long. I think they need to fucking calm down. I'll say it. Say it. If I see you with the thin red line flag, it's on sight.
The Superskinnies together to...
All firefighters are bastards, that's right.
Before they're paired off, Supersize...
Looks like AFAB.
I'm like 3 of you.
Dr. Christian
Okay.
checking them into the feeding.
I'm like 3 of you.
What an insane thing to say. But am I crazy for saying I feel like there's some chemistry here? I've never made eye contact with anybody in my life like this. I feel like there's some chemistry. They have to live together for a night.
Dr. Christian will be checking them into the feeding clinic.
They're gonna fuck. That is sexual tension. They are going to fuck.
Dr. Christian will be checking them into the feeding clinic to confront their unhealthy relationships with food.
It's a shame that the eating's sort of overtaken your life.
To kickstart a healthier lifestyle.
The more honest you can be with yourself
That's where the
about
penis
how much
music
you love,
goes.
then you're going to be able to deal
Oh, he's got Charlie Kirk disease. I'm sorry, that is body shaming, but his face is so small.
with it.
I'm sorry, that was
In
just
this
straight
new
body
series,
shaming.
Our very own fat control is in America's fattest city to learn the lessons of where it's all gone wrong.
I think we're reaching a crisis level, and it's getting worse.
In the hope that we can stop eating ourselves into an early grave. And back in the UK, we'll be delving into the world of eating disorders, as seen through the eyes of those who've suffered.
I've vomited blood before, where I've put a tiny tear into my esophagus through the pressure of being sick.
And we'll be revealing how to spot the warning signs if you think someone you know may be at risk. Because it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you.
Man, they really do just lean on like, oh, this one doesn't have chapters. They're just like eating disorders, and they just show like
Over the
full and
past
bulimic
30 years,
people.
all women overweight have trebled in the UK, with almost half of all men and a third of all women overweight. Dr. Christian's
Yeah, banger
concerned,
tagline.
so to
As much
shock
as we
us,
hate the show, we have to admit it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. Is such a good tagline. Have to give credit where credit is due. It's very, very good tagline.
to choosing a healthier future, he's come to America's fattest city, Evansville, where almost 40% of residents are clinically obese.
Could you imagine just going about your day? You're just going to get some fucking lunch from McDonald's. You live in Evansville,
Where almost
an all-American city. You're just going to work, and some fucking TV crew comes up and catches the most unflattering angle of you, and then you're just on like TV, and they're like, "Look at how fat this fucking monster is. She doesn't even look after herself. It's fucking disgusting." And then you just wow, great. I was just trying to go to work, but thanks, bud.
40% of residents are clinically obese.
Where the US leads, the UK soon follows. With a quarter of us already classified as obese, it's predicted that by 2050, we'll be spending an extra £7.7 billion on obesity-related healthcare alone. What's happening here in Evansville is a very real future for us in the UK.
That's true. It is UK TV, so it's not real. That's very true.
Struggles that come with being grossly overweight.
Do you think this is a losing battle?
Sometimes it feels like a losing battle.
And what happens?
They need
when
to stop
obesity
showing
becomes fatal.
Oh my
the medical stuff.
This is our largest casket. It'll hold over 1,000 pounds.
It looks like a hot tub.
But stateside, it's not just
Wait, they cut the casket bit into multiple episodes? This dude didn't get enough airtime in the first one. They're like, this one's the hot tub casket. We're gonna show you even more caskets.
the coffins that have supersized.
Because patients here are getting bigger and bigger, regular ambulances can no longer cope to transport them. So the hospitals have had to call in the services of these new supersize ambulances to transfer their obese and super obese patients.
We use it almost every other day. In fact, we got to run now.
Can I follow you?
Sure.
I won't get in the way, I promise
No
you.
problem.
This bariatric ambulance, or jumbulance, is 1.5 times bigger than a normal American.
That looks like a normal ambulance, right? Am I going crazy? That looks like a normal ambulance. I used to, when I worked construction, the truck that we used was an old ambulance. That looks like an ambulance. Jumbulance? Great name. But that looks like a normal fucking ambulance. Am I wrong? Maybe all the ambulances where I live are jumbulances. I don't know.
Costs $250,000 and can cope with patients weighing up to 100 stone.
100 stone? There's no way that's 500. That's 1,500 pounds. Has anybody even weighed that much before? The heaviest person ever was 1,400 pounds. Okay, there's people that are that big, but it's like, I feel like that's crazy to be like, it's I feel like by them saying it, this can transfer people who weigh up to 1,400 pounds. You're making it seem like they do that on the fucking daily instead of like extreme fringe cases.
In the UK, a standard ambulance can only cope with patients who weigh up to 30
Sirs,
stone.
thank you for the follow, my
Bariatric
man.
Vehicles are already hitting streets across the country. The West Midlands have added 4 to their fleet, and in London there's already a privately run service, as well as 2 NHS ambulances, with a 3rd on its way.
So I'm just following the bariatric ambulance as it goes to pick up a lady.
They're making it seem like affording like services to everybody is like a negative thing. We've already had to buy 2 of them, and we might have to buy a 3rd one, just because I don't want to take care of everybody. What if two people get in there and they both weigh like I don't know, it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Super.
Deaconess weight loss solution? Is this yeah, this isn't even like a general use ambulance. The J-ambulances are specifically for fringe cases, which is not a bad thing to have. I did only want to do this show to imitate the accents. It's very true.
Morbidly obese. She needs to come into hospital for some treatment because she's got terrible swelling, edema, water retention in her legs. They get very, very large. She's very immobile. So we're going to go and pick her up now.
She's not immobile. She's very immobile.
Weighs around 35 stone, so getting her to hospital is no mean feat. In fact, they've called in for extra support.
This is actually really incredible. The amount of work required just to move one patient. You need 2 vehicles and you need 4.
Yeah, but they're framing it. They're not framing it as like they're not positing anything in this show. The way that the show is framing it, they're not positing like a way to solve it or like what went wrong realistically. They're literally just shaming people. If this show touched on the systemic issues that leads people to gaining weight, and like what can be done about it at a systemic level, because that's the only way to actually stop this from happening, then all of this is literally just them shaming people. And it's fucked for them to be like, yeah, we had to get 1 ambulance to service like probably a 200-mile radius area. And that cost us $250,000. Even though realistically, it probably doesn't even fucking cost $250,000. Like I imagine they spent $250,000. But as we all know, the medical system in the United States is fucked, and they're going to fucking overcharge for that stuff because that's part of where they make their money. So, like, that's what's wrong with the framing. I don't want people to have to use this kind of stuff. Like, nobody should be in this spot where they weigh 700 pounds, 600 pounds, whatever. But they're making it a them issue. They're like, oh God, it's Jane again. Here she is. She's got edema and her legs swell up and she can't move at all. She sucks. Instead of like, let's talk about like systemic issues and like food deserts and like inability to have time to do things because of the capitalistic system we're in.
Paramedics. Think of the cost and the time and the amount of resources that are involved in just moving that patient.
Again, exactly. That he just said it there. He is putting all of this time and money and resources on helping this patient. This is a specific job. What are they going to be doing? Their job is to help overweight people. What the fuck else are they going to be doing if not helping overweight people? It's their fucking job. That makes no sense. You can't posit that like it's a bad thing. Or yeah, exactly. How much? That's a very good point, I mean, to compare it to how much it would cost to move a patient who weighed 160 pounds. Because it's still fucking expensive. I fucking guarantee you it's still dumb fucking expensive. I imagine a J-ambulance costs more than a normal ambulance. But like, I imagine a normal ambulance still costs a lot of fucking money. Yeah, there's no context to any of the numbers. They're just saying big number bad.
How you doing?
Stacey, can I come say hi to you?
Yeah.
So you got this lipid, this is all fluid and swelling, and this has all got to be brought down.
Yeah.
Stacey is 48 and suffers with lymphedema in her legs.
You all right, Stacey?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Stacey is harnessed to a supersized double stretcher.
You feel secure, safe?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're off.
Before being
Yeah, that's also a very good point, Zebra. I mean, they probably don't because it's America and it's fucking bullshit. But they could use that ambulance as a normal ambulance. Like, They could just use it as normal ambulance. Just because you have extra room doesn't make it unusable. I imagine they don't because it's a specialized piece. They're gonna claim it's a specialized piece of equipment and yada yada yada.
By a specialist winch that is usually used to recover broken down cars.
You can really see why a vehicle like this is so important. Getting a 30, 40, 50 stone patient up a ramp.
Yeah, they're normally used to move cars. I mean, come on, man. Come on. What did she weigh? Did they say 30 stone? 420 pounds? That's not that much. I feel like if a patient weighed, like I weigh 300 pounds. Okay? I weigh 300 pounds. I feel like if you had 2 paramedics, they probably use a fucking winch to get me in. Like, that's not that crazy. That's not that crazy.
Into an ambulance by manpower.
It's just dehumanizing this person.
So this makes it a whole load easier.
420, fuck yeah, baby. Hey. Cool.
Good one, Joshua.
The Deaconess Hospital is at the forefront of fighting fat in Evansville. Looking after Stacey is lymphedema therapist Stephanie Retter, who's going to be gently massaging the huge quantity of fluid that's built up in Stacey's legs back into her upper body.
Mio life, hell yeah, Mio life.
How do you feel about that now?
Sometimes I wish I didn't have all this fluid, because it does cause a lot of problems.
You who work
Good
on
one,
the front
Joshua.
lines dealing with it, why do you think it's happening?
Too much convenience and not enough self-responsibility in many cases. I think that we've all just succumbed to fast food.
You hear that? You hear that fucking phrasing? And again, is this person a medical professional?
Why do you think it's happening?
Why do you think people are obese? Why do you think people are obese? Was the question.
Too much convenience and not enough self-responsibility.
Not enough self-responsibility. Look at the fucking side eye. Not enough fucking like, what about the responsibility of the system to take care of the people that exist in it? It's fucking asinine, man. It's absolutely asinine. This is the problem with America. It's not obesity. The problem is people thinking that that's the problem. That people are just like, well, I'm just going to wake up one day and decide to be obese. And like that, you can literally say it about drug use. You can say it about being poor. Like literally that is just got to get a Sigma grind set. That's if you hear somebody say being fat is the fault of the person and you think that makes sense, but when I say being poor is because you don't work hard enough, that is the same fucking argument, and that's how fucking stupid you sound. It's so fucked, man.
In many cases, I think that we've all just succumbed to fast food and we drive our car 2 blocks down the road instead of walking.
Do you think...
Yeah. Fuck. Oh no. Obesity would be solved if we didn't walk. If we just walked 2 blocks. It's not that the average commute to work is 30 minutes. It's not that the average commute to a store is 15 minutes. No. It's because we don't walk 2 blocks. It's not because America has become entirely car dependent. We have no walkable cities unless you live in on very, very small parts of the East Coast. We have no walkable cities. Everything is designed to be car use. That's fucking crazy, man.
You're reaching crisis point with all this?
I think we're reaching a crisis level and it's getting worse.
That's a frightening thought.
It is.
I found the whole thing really quite eye-opening in the amount of people involved, the cost of the equipment involved, the sheer time it's taken to get her here to her appointment. The mind boggles how the NHS is ever going to cope with that. I have no idea.
Back in the UK, in a bid to avoid what's happening in the States, Dr. Christian is tackling dietary crimes at both ends of
It all comes down to money at the end of the day. So you're like, man, how can we afford this? Yeah, how's it going to be the cost? Yeah, it's a fair point, Flutie. Like, not everybody can walk for other reasons as well, not just health. It's an absolutely asinine backwards way to look at it. I can't believe we're only, I'm sorry for pausing. I can't believe we're only 6 minutes.
The scale by gathering together our 16 supersizers and superskinnies.
And again, just like the last episode, I just said I'm sorry for pausing and paused it 4 seconds later. Just like the last episode, the opening 6 minutes of this one and the last one was all about how fat equals bad, and how like it's a cost and it costs money and yada yada yada. And then they're gonna put this part in and be like, and here's some skinny people too, I guess. And so like when you look at it and the way they're fucking framing this, it's like, oh, fat people are a burden on society, and being too skinny hurts your family. It's like, that's what it's saying. It's like bulimia makes you ugly. Anorexia makes you ugly. You'll have bad hair and bad skin. But being fat, that's going to put a strain on our medical system. Was the last episode, the first 5 minutes, all American stuff too? I think it was. They definitely opened it with it being like, because America is one of the world leaders in like, per capita high in, weight, obesity rates. They're positing it as like, and Britain can be, the UK can be like this too someday. So maybe we shouldn't. But they bring in the thin people here, the super skinny people, literally as a fucking talking head to like pivot into eating disorders, but they don't talk about the other kind of eating disorders, like the other end of the spectrum.
They're beginning their journey of confronting their own unhealthy eating with the shock of confronting their opposites. And Dr. Christian is sizing them up, ready for what comes next. A table for two at his feeding clinic.
Hi guys, I want to pair you off with each other, and I've got very specific reasons for doing that, which will become clear. So, Rob, come forward. And I want to match you up with Hayley.
Hiya, alright. I'm sorry, but I've never met anyone as big as yourself. You've got bigger boobs than I am. Firstly, I thought...
What the fuck was that, Rob? Whoa, Rob. This is crazy, Rob. Buddy, I know she just insulted you. Buddy, what is this? Whoa. That's crazy, man.
Firstly, I thought, don't touch me. Without being rude to them, they were kind of sweating and, and I thought, please don't hug me, please don't hug me. You can feel my bones. Can you feel your bones at all? No.
I was a bit shocked the size of me. I was a bit shocked with the size of it. You could see the bones from the back and the sides.
Rob and Hayley may be the same age and height, but when it comes to their diets and waistlines, they couldn't be more different. Hayley is incredibly focused about what she eats, whereas Rob just eats mindlessly. I'm hoping that their time in the feeding clinic will show them how extreme their diets have become.
Oh, that's insane.
25-year-old youth worker Rob Gillett from Bridgend might only be a tiny 5 foot 3 inches tall, but he's a colossal 35 stone 10.
Why are we shitting on the short king? He's just a tiny 5 foot 3. He'd be ugly even if he was thin, but he's also fat. Fucking Rob. Listen, Rob, we got to work on your approach with women. You can't just go out and try touching them. Rob, we can work on you, my man. I'm rooting for Rob.
Single Rob gorges on more than 7,000 calories.
Single Rob! Why you gotta do him like that? You're just like maidenless Rob, virgin ass, pussy ass Rob over here. 5 foot 3 having ass, no bitch having ass Rob. Eats 7,000 calories a day. Gorgeous. 7,000 calories
a day, which has left him with a gut-busting waistline measuring 78 inches.
But mostly sweet stuff like sweets, chocolate, biscuits, cakes. I don't mind a pie once in a while. What pie? You know I don't like when I see, but when I come down to eat the food, I just want to eat it. Eat. I don't smoke, so my addictions are cola and cake.
Okay. This is the first mention of eating addiction. He literally just said, I'm addicted to sugar. Let's see how, and again, they've got the loopy, like, haha, funny music behind it. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Like, Luis, we have to remember, he is doing this in front of a camera. There is a non-zero chance the producers were like, if we give you a Coke, will you drink it right now? Drink this Coke right now. That way we have a shot of you eating cake and drinking Coke.
Every day, Rob swills 4 litres of cola.
Oh.
And chomps on copious quantities of cakes, biscuits, and donuts.
Yeah, I do like my donuts with cream in. They're my favourite.
Those are the best. We can all agree. We can all agree that cream-filled donuts are the best. Me and Rob are kismet.
Most cakes I eat.
Rob's sugar obsession has come at a high price to his weight, and at 25, he only has 6 teeth left.
That's crazy.
Even when Rob's in the office, he doesn't stop eating.
Donuts are very hit or miss, to be fair.
We are concerned about this weight, and I think he's possibly been...
I always say, there's nothing worse in this world than a bad donut. Because you already, like, feel bad about eating a donut, and then when it sucks as well, you're like, oh, God, it wasn't even worth it. There's a bakery, there's like a local bakery that makes literally some of the best fucking donuts have a very wide range, like, on whether or not how good they are, but a good donut's a good fucking donut.
A bit on lately. The biscuit barrel is always empty.
I am a picker. I like to pick things.
Muffins are very good too.
I'm always picking.
Muffins are consistent.
After a hard day's work, it's not long before Rob's tummy is rumbling again, and he's usually round to his gran's for a slap-up tea.
I like my nan's bolognese. I like any food. I think that's the problem.
I know I do spoil him, but all my kids, if they come here, if you want it, you have it.
I do think my nan feeds me more than she should, but that's a granny thing, looking after your grandchildren. Nice, isn't it?
Classic grandma. Classic grandma. You always just... If you're here, you're going to eat.
At the age of 25, Rob has never had a girlfriend.
I don't chat to girls because I just don't see the point no more.
I'd love to see Rob out on the town, on the tiles, with the lads, pulling the women. Yeah.
And the most important...
He literally is like, I want my son to fuck. Get him out a little bit of banter. Go out with the lads, yeah? Have a lad night, have a stag do. Go out with the boys. Go to Magaluf. Go talk to some birds. Maybe hook up with a few of them.
Important reason to lose my weight is I can fit into fashionable clothes, be one of the lads, go out more, meet friends, just generally be a proper 25-year-old lad. Because at the moment, I'm not.
He did reach very inappropriately towards the other girl.
Time's running out to turn his life around.
I do cry sometimes before I go to sleep. If I can't do something now, I'm going to die early.
Mortgage advisor Hayley Payne from
What is
Suffolk
that fucking sound
may
effect?
be the same age as Rob, but incredibly, she's almost 30 stone lighter at only 6 stone 12. That's because she's always on the go and eating barely gets a look in.
Food completely takes a backseat in my life. It's something that I know you have to do to keep alive, but it's a bit of an inconvenience for me because it takes up my time. I run on quite a lot of
Hey,
nervous
Zebra,
energy.
at least you
The day I
noticed it.
stop will be the day I crash.
I know what you meant because she was poking at her bones, but it definitely was really bad wording. I'm giving you the benefit. I gave you the benefit of the doubt, but yeah.
In fact, hyperactive Hayley gets through the day on just spoonfuls of sugar.
Bro, if any stranger tried to hug me in just their underwear, I would. It's creepy. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane to have that as a response. We got, again, Rob. Rob is not perfect, but we can fix Rob. We can get him rizzed up.
And copious amounts of tea.
I love tea, an awful lot.
I mean, it's just like the same thing as like an American who only drinks coffee instead of like eating, right?
New husband Chris.
I tend to like to pile his plate up quite a lot because I like to see that he's eating a good amount. Mine tends to be a third of what he eats.
Yeah, Hayley's portions always fit for a sparrow, whereas mine is enough for an elephant to eat. I'm surprised I'm not 20 stone, the way I eat.
Hayley married Chris 6 months ago, but the realization she'd become a bony bride has prompted her to want to change her ways.
My wedding day was definitely the biggest day of my whole life. I felt like I was the one that let it down by being
crazy?
so skinny.
Or does he look way older?
He's now at risk of damaging her health and being infertile, and obviously as a newly married couple, that's something we discuss, children and things like that.
I want people to look at me and think I'm healthy because I do want to have a family in the future.
They went straight, just like Elaine in the last episode, they went straight into your value as a woman is to be hot and fertile. And that's why you shouldn't be skinny. Both, I mean, again, both are valid, like in terms of like, those are potential issues. And but it's still insane that that's the thing they go with here. Immediately.
So massively determined just to start to feel healthy.
Well, she's 25. He doesn't look 25. He looks like he's like 35.
36 stone is about to swap diets with super skinny 6 stone 12 Hayley. But before they do, Dr. Christian is sending Rob to the USA for a startling glimpse into his possible future.
What?
After a grueling 9-hour flight, Rob has arrived in Akron, Ohio, to meet his supersized American host.
Here we are. Hi, I'm Donna.
I'm Rob. How are you?
Good to meet you. Come on in.
Okay, thank you.
A lifetime of comfort eating has left 42-stone mother of 2 Donna Simpson with serious health problems.
I have type 2 diabetes. I have sleep apnea. I stop breathing, then it's just impossible to sleep.
Donna's agreed to share her story with Rob, and like him, she's battled with her weight from a young age.
Yeah, I've kind of been fat since I was 5.
5?
Yeah, 5, I just started gaining weight all of a sudden. But see, when I was younger, my mother, over here in the States, we had called the Depression. She had like no food, and there was like 7 kids. So
Am I crazy? Was the Great Depression only an American thing? Was that not a worldwide thing? I guess, I mean, I'm not a history buff. Most countries across the world. She just said, in America, we had this thing called the Great Depression in the 30s. It's so funny. It's so fucking funny. And what she's saying is, I imagine, very true, right? People who survived through the Depression, you know, I imagine it had a very perverse effect on their life. But it's really funny to be like, yeah, in America, we have this thing called, I don't know, rain? Do you guys have that in Britain?
So she was like, when
I mean, people do a lot of things to get on TV. It is weird they're in Akron, Ohio. I don't know why they wouldn't do it in like in Edwardsville or whatever, Indiana, where they already were filming. It's weird to go to Akron, right?
married and I have kids, I am stacking the refrigerator and we're going to have food and they can eat as much as they want. Yeah. Well, she did that and we did. So I was a real fat kid, got made fun of in school. Do you overeat a lot?
Yeah, sweet stuff.
When did you start overeating?
Don't know. Just when I'm bored, I think, in the house.
What Rob doesn't know is that Dr. Christian is about to make a surprise visit to make sure his wake-up call really hits home.
Rob is swapping with Donna. Both of them have really bad mobility issues and health problems because of their weight. So I'm hoping that they're going to have got on and that Donna is really teaching Rob a lesson or two.
Well, she's beginning by taking Rob for his first taste of supersized American portions.
So what's the point of this? They're literally like, hey, she's diabetic. She's got sleep apnea. She lives in Ohio. Let's take her to get milkshakes. What is this? Why are they like, all right, Rob, one last milkshake for you, yeah? How is this helpful? How is flying him for a total of 18 hours? How is this helping Rob? Or really even helping viewers?
Her favorite restaurant.
This could have done virtually. They could have just like done a case study on her or like shown her story and talked about her and her grandma that went through the depression or whatever. And then had Rob exist in the UK and go and do his thing and inappropriately advance towards women, short king. They didn't need to bring him here to have an American milkshake.
Amazingly, even Rob who can consume 7,000 calories a day at home, is struggling to clear his massive plate.
To be honest, I was shocked how much she ate. Like, I had one starter, she had 2 or maybe 3. I'm really finding it overwhelming.
They're literally, you aren't as fat as this lady. That's literally, she's out eating them, and like, what is the point of this? I don't understand. Yeah, they're like, oh, you'll never be American fat, no matter how hard you try.
Thought his monster burger was overwhelming. Wait till he sees his cream puff.
Whoa. It's loads of cream. I like my cream, but this is way too much.
Barbs, this is a show called Supersize versus Superskinny.
Giant.
The British show on Channel 4, and it's trying to pose itself as a like look into like how to help obesity and also like being too skinny, but it's not very good at it. It's just fucking disgusting oversimplifications of issues.
Massive. Even though I like my cakes, I know now, if I want to lose weight, I need to cut loads of stuff out.
Can I show you? I want to show you guys a dessert that I had in America, obviously. I'll just pull up the restaurant. This is in Yorkville, Illinois, which is like, it's not a suburb, but it's like, it's probably on the like verges of being a suburb. This restaurant, this is a real restaurant. And I had their whole thing that they have. Hey, where's their pictures at? Where's your pictures at, Crusade Burger? Go to their Instagram. Like, this is their dessert right here. Like, look at that. This is crazy. And I ate here. I'll show you. I guess I can show you exactly what I ate. Not Aurora. I didn't eat Aurora. Appetizer. A brilliant burger with magnificent fries with a wonderful cheese sauce. And then this cookie milkshake that was very good. That's America, baby. No, the burger was so big. It was very good. It definitely was one of those things where it's like, I'm gonna do that once. That is really funny. They made him push her, yeah.
Rob, Donna can't cope with walking more than a few yards and is confined to a wheelchair much of the time. And as Rob wheels her back home, he's getting a glimpse of his potential future.
It's very exhausting pushing Donna around because she's really heavy. You need to be a bodybuilder to push around people that size. Because I was struggling. I'm tired now.
Need a break?
Rob and Donna eventually make it back to the house, and it's not long before Dr. Christian's at the door.
Man, fuck Dr. Christian. All my homies hate Dr.
Sorry.
Here's the full thing.
Oh, Rob.
I mean, look at that.
How are you?
Look at that beauty. Look at that thing. They've got, this was brownie. All right. I think this is cookie dough with chocolate syrup. I think this is whipped cream, ice cream, cookie, ice cream, cookie. And then there's a glass here. All right. And then on the outside of the glass, they put ice cream and froze it. Like, or froze, I guess it was like normal cream, but put Chips Ahoy in it. So, not Chips Ahoy, Cookie Crisp in it. So this is Cookie Crisp that's like attached to the glass that you could eat. It was so fucking much. But it was very good. You used to watch this in high school? Well, we're watching it now, baby.
I thought I'd pay you a little visit, just to keep things on your toes, you know?
Yeah.
Hello, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Christian. I thought I'd
It was way
oh,
too
is
much.
this one?
I never
How's
need to eat it
going?
again.
Overwhelming.
Overwhelming.
Everything's so big.
You mean
Food-wise.
people or
People as well.
yeah?
I never had Cookie Crisp as a kid, so I can't speak to that.
And first up, Dr. Christian wants to see for himself that eye-opening diet of Donna's that Rob's been experiencing.
Oh, look at those. So chocolate is your weakness, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be mine right there. Weakness.
Are you tempted?
I am, but I'm not going to it.
You're not going to. So you've already started your healthy living.
Well, it seems that Rob's revelation is well underway.
How do you feel about your weight
It was
now?
glorious,
You've been
though,
here for a little
Mr.
bit,
Pumpkin
you've not
Pants.
gone
It was
over your
glorious.
thoughts.
Well, I really need to lose weight.
Why?
If I get any more, I'd be like Donna. I can't be alive.
Same thing to say to her. You can't say that. That's crazy, man. You can't just be like, I don't want to be like this sad excuse for a human. Motherfucker. I don't know if we got her like weight, but like I imagine they weigh similar. He's just not as old. At least she got laid. She has fucking kids, you loser. They're like, this single guy doesn't want to end up like this mother.
Pushing me around in a wheelchair.
Do you think that might happen?
Yeah, it's quite to make me upset actually seeing it.
But Dr. Christian has another surprise in store. He's calculated that Rob's body mass index is an astounding 86.
Okay, even though we talked about it before and it was on screen before, this is the first time they've mentioned BMI, which is kind of nutty because they did have it on screen before. So they're saying it's an 86, which I guess is, yeah, not even on the chart here. But he's 5'4".
More than treble the healthy upper limit.
No, they don't know each other, Barb. So the premise of this show is they're going to be like, the first 6 minutes is like, man, America is fat. And then they go back to Britain and they're like, okay, here's a fat person and a skinny person. We're going to make you live together. But for some fucking reason, they flew him to America to meet this random woman. They're just in Akron, Ohio for no fucking reason. And yes, yeah, BMI is bullshit. We already talked about it before.
5.
You were a little bit in denial about your weight.
Yeah.
Your body mass is the highest that I have ever had.
Really?
Yeah, really. It's really important, Rob, that you know these things. I think you've lived...
Yeah, it was literally just to shit on her.
a lot of your life in a bit of denial about the weight. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah? And you have to stop that now.
And this dude,
Isn't it? If you really
this dude's
mean what
name
you're
is
saying-
Dr. Christian. He does not have a medical degree. He has what was it? A degree in like sex? His like degree in like sex studies or some stupid shit. He has a master's degree in sexual health.
It's time you face up to these horrible truths, yeah? And it's not too late. Would you agree with that?
Exactly. He's young. He can get into, a good eating habit.
I have a degree in
500 pounds.
No, but what you're
No,
saying
but really,
is
really,
correct.
I think he's a strong young man, and he can do it.
It's also crazy to show up to this lady's house and be like, tell him he can do it, but you can't, right? You're a lost cause, lady? Lady who lives in Ohio that we brought on for no fucking reason?
Christian is leaving Rob with some serious food for thought.
This dude is like the British version of like Dr. Drew or like Dr. I think Dr. Drew actually has medical degrees, but he's just a TV doctor.
All right, well, we've had a good time.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wish you well on your journey.
Thank you very much.
And I know you'll do good. Yeah. You'll do good.
Thank you. Been nice meeting you.
From the quick Google search, no, he doesn't have a doctorate. He has a master's. Unless MSc is doctorate. That's a master's degree, yeah.
2 weeks later, back in Blighty, Rob's attempting to break his dangerous
He studied
diet
medicine as an
habits by
undergrad
checking into Dr.
and then
Christian's
has
physique
a master's degree in sexual health.
and joining him with her altogether different approach to food. will
Does
be
he? I don't see it on
His
Wikipedia.
unwillingness to eat is endangering her future. 6 stone 12
I mean,
Haley
he
and
hasn't.
25 stone 10 Rob. will
Okay,
spend
it's
the
the
next
British
2
version
days
of a
solving their
medical.
extreme eating habits as a kickstart to a healthier life. But first, Dr. Christian wants to delve a little deeper into their respective calorie.
I didn't see this. I didn't see MBBS. It's an undergraduate medical degree. Does undergraduate mean a doctorate? Is that different? It's MD equivalent? Okay. So it was just a language barrier. But it is a British degree, which doesn't count. That's very true, Reaper. That's very, very true. British degrees don't count. Not a real place. British people aren't real. They can't hurt you.
Crises. Haley's surviving on less than 850 calories a day, but is happy to.
All right. I'm sorry, Lord Teo, for coming in here and proving me wrong. I still don't like him.
To sort of look after Chris and feed Chris and make sure he's healthy and not do the same for you.
I think.
So now, no, thank you, Teo. Thank you for correcting. Now we're gonna go back to Chris. What? His name is Rob. We're gonna go back to the UK, and this person who is underweight has to live with Rob for a day and eat like the other person. He's still British derogatory.
People see him being healthy, kind of be proud of the fact that I'm creating that nice family life, ready for children, that kind of thing.
My advice would be to absolutely enjoy that praise and carry on doing what you're doing.
Americans, unfortunately, do hurt a lot of people, though.
Because at the moment you're standing on the outside looking in at your happy family.
I guess British people do as well.
But you're part of it. You want to join them.
Yeah, of course I do.
Why do you think you don't deserve it? Of course you do. What does your partner say about all this?
He loves the fact that I look after him, obviously. But
Chris is her husband.
The fact that I've gotten to this kind of state. He always says he loves me, whatever. But he wants me to be healthy as well.
Yeah, exactly.
He definitely. This is the thing. This is why I say he looks like he's like Dr. Drew. Is like, whatever. He's got a doctorate, whatever. He's just sultry and like traditionally good looking, and so like he can get away with saying shit, and like he sounds good, so he probably sounds a lot like more like seems like he knows more than he does.
He does.
Whilst Haley needs to start being more selfish about feeding herself, cola and cake-loving Rob, who's putting away a shocking 7,000 calories a day, needs to take control for different reasons.
You're a very young chap, but you've already had medical problems, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've had these mini strokes, so-called. Tell me what happened with those.
Again, they've also now posited this as the skinny girl. The skinny, again, I missed her name. She has had like fucking 2 minutes of airtime, maybe screen time, and all of it has been like, my husband wants me to gain weight so I can bear children. And then his is like, I'm gonna die. Save me, save me, save me. And 18 minutes of this has been about him.
Like on my left side went numb twice.
I mean, what we'd call them medically is things called transient ischemic attacks, TIAs.
That's a very good point. I don't know how you can afford that much food
either.
either.
Blockage to the blood supply to the brain that then clears itself. So you get the temporary effects of a reduced blood supply, which is funny feelings and paralysis and tingling on one side and loss of movement, but then it comes back again. But it is a bit of a sort of warning bell. What I've noticed in talking to you is you're an extremely nice chap. Extremely nice to the point of almost being a bit too nice. Is that true?
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. I treat women nicely, and then they just say they want to go with a fucking mean guy, a fucking mean lad. They want to go be with the bruv. I'm over here just being a nice chap. Too nice. Rob, don't fall into the hole, man. Luis, that's a very good point, actually. 700,000 calories in junk food isn't that much. Because, yeah, you can just, like we discussed earlier, a 14-inch meat lover's pizza is 3,600 calories, and like you can get that for like $20. But yeah, if you just get like donuts, that's not that crazy. Yeah, 1,500 calories in spinach? What's heavier? 1,500 calories in spinach or 1,500 calories in feathers?
And that's a lovely quality to have, but it's not going to do you any favours.
Okay.
And when it comes to your diet and your health, this now needs to be your priority.
Yeah.
And if it means being a little bit selfish and saying no to people and saying, actually, I don't want you feeding me that stuff, I don't want you bringing me this food, you know, you're going to have to put your foot down and do that. But do you think you've got the gumption in you to do that?
Yeah.
If required?
Well, it will be required, I think, yeah.
Well, Rob's resolve is about to be put to the test. It's time for Supersize and Superskinny to swap diets, in the hope that seeing someone else tackle their impossible portions will kickstart them into a healthier way of eating. First up for breakfast skipping Hayley, it's one of Rob's gargantuan fry-ups, whilst Rob is having to contend with 2 cups of tea, which for Hayley would be the first of an incredible 12 mugs of tea a day.
The portions here are...
You can't start. So in the first episode, the lady drank 15 to 20 cups of tea. You can't start with that and then have this person drink 12 cups of tea and be like, an incredible 12 cups of tea. Like, I've already seen somebody who drinks 20. 12 is even less. They tried to do this thing where they showed how much 20 was in the last episode. And I was like, that doesn't even seem like that much. You can't now hit me with 12 and be like, yeah, this doesn't even look like that big of a meal.
Huge. Even if I was having this for an evening meal, there is no way on this earth I'd have this much food. This is rank. Do you not worry about in the future, though, if you keep eating like this?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're the same age as me, aren't you?
Yes,
yeah, same.
I have to be honest, you do.
She literally was like, do not worry about it. And he's like, that's why I'm fucking on the show, lady. Why do you think I'm fucking here? Like, she is in the same... What she is failing to recognize is that she is in the exact same spot with her eating disorder as he is. They are on the different ends of the same spectrum. They are both in this fucking feeding house. What do they call it? The feeding house, something like that. And she's still, like, again, the show is allowing it to posit as she is correct and he is in the wrong.
Look a lot older.
Thanks.
I can't believe you don't have anything for breakfast or something till this afternoon. I can't believe how you haven't got no energy. How you got energy?
Well, Rob's giving as good as he gets, but he's soon on the back foot when it comes to defending those portion sizes.
You know, you say you don't normally have a portion size this big, or you wouldn't normally.
I think the big thing here is, I mean, this happens in America too. So is this like roasted tomatoes? Like, that's probably fine. It's definitely a lot of it. But like, tomatoes aren't that calorie dense. Egg isn't that calorie dense. Beans are pretty calorie dense, especially because there's all the sweetener on it. But this isn't that much. Like, I'm sure you could get away with this. These 2 sausages, though, like, sausages is a lot of calories. And so, like, this is probably going to kill you a ton here. And then this looks like hash browns. Like, this right here probably makes up like 80%, 70% of the calories in this. And like, literally, if you just slice that down to 1 sausage and 1 hash brown and maybe like half of the beans, this isn't that bad of a meal.
You know, you say you don't normally have a portion size this big, or you wouldn't normally eat this. If I'm honest with you, I don't believe it. I don't at all. You must.
But he's also already said his issue isn't eating the meals here. Like, even when he's in America, he said he couldn't eat those meals. He just loves sweets. Like, he loves sweets. And like, when you eat like sweets are so calorie dense. And I know, I mean, this is an American candy. A fun size Snickers is 80 calories. Like, you can fucking handful like 10 of those. Just blah, blah, blah.
Like this to get the size that you are. The more honest you can be with yourself about how much you eat, then you're going to be able to deal with it.
Yeah, it's still sugar though. Like, the tomato sauce is still
he
sugar.
He tells himself he has a bowl of cereal.
Like, it's still a sweet sauce.
Plate of fry-up.
Hayley said a few shocking things about how she don't believe my size of portions. And I just thought, well, she doesn't know me to have the right to challenge me.
Yeah, bottle of Coke is, I think it's like $2.80. Does that sound right?
If that's breakfast and that's sort of supposed to be a smaller meal as far as I'm concerned, yeah, I'm massively concerned for the rest of the day.
But when lunch comes around, Hayley's hopes of escaping with a little snack are over.
Oh my goodness.
No, they're both from the UK.
Huge dinner of roast beef, potatoes, mash, carrots, peas.
That again looks like a normal size. Like, that's not that crazy of a meal, right?
Huge dinner of roast smash.
Again, if you look at this, like, I mean, peas and carrots are they're pretty sweet. So they're not like the best vegetables. But like, that's not that crazy. Literally just cut this in like 2/3. And like, this isn't that nutty.
Carrots, peas, and gravy. Whilst Rob has to be
What is that?
content with a salami stick.
A salami stick. Oh, come on. Don't make him cut it with a fork and knife. What is this bull? Eat it with your hands, man. Don't make him cut it. No way you're fucking cutting a slim.
Long, thin, salami meat. That was it. One. It's really hard to chew this with 60.
Just suck on it, it'll last even longer.
And the sparring continues across the dinner table.
She fucking hates him. She is like a perfect like showcase of like the embodiment of like not just fat phobia, but like hatred for fat people. Like, she fucking hates him. And like, I know they got off on a wrong foot, but like, she literally, after we made the jokes about him like going to touch her, she literally was like, I thought he was gross. I didn't want him touching me because he was fat and sweaty. And it's like she is literally just going at him. And like, even the narrator, the framing, you have to, again, focus on the framing here. The narrator of the show is like, the sparring goes back and forth. And he literally is just sitting there being like, yeah, and he said, I've never met anyone as big as you in a room full of big people. And like, the narrator even says like, I've never, the bit of sparring goes back and forth. And he is just sitting there being like, I normally don't eat that much. He's like, I don't fucking believe you. But I think, again, that's less of a, this says less of a judgment of her character and more of a like, that's the society that we live in. It's naturally aggressive. I mean, Elaine was the same way in the last episode. There's a little bit of a dynamic because in the last episode it was 2 women, and this one's obviously a woman and a man. But the inherent hatred towards fat people is so baked into our society. And she literally looks at him as less of a person because of how fat he is. And she is failing to realize, again, that she is also in a bad spot for herself. She is also seeking help. Motherfucker, so far, she drinks 12 cups of coffee or tea and eats a sausage. And she's like, well, at least I'm not fat.
At this thing,
and the thing that's fucked is the show is making it seem like that's an okay thing.
Had some of this?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Not even hungry?
No.
Okay. Every day you have a cooked meal for lunch, do you?
That's why I have one day a week. Well, no, but I have about a few times a week I cook dinner.
A few times a week. Nothing with Rob is clear cut. It is a riddle, completely. Like, 1 minute I said to him, do you have a cooked dinner in the week? And no, it's all, I only have this on a Sunday. So I'm massively confused.
One thing Rob can't deny, and that's his sweet tooth. So for Hayley, there are 3 desserts: Bakewell tarts, trifle, and crumble, all with cream. Of
Never
course.
heard of mean spell. Encouraging eating disorders is.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Thank you very much. How do you feel that you haven't got anything?
I'm fine. Honestly, I am fine.
It's Hayley's turn to test herself.
She's like literally goading him.
Are you enjoying that?
You probably want some.
This is my last spoonful.
I will have one after that.
No, this is my last
No,
one.
I have another one. You meant to teach me a diet.
Okay.
This triple helping of treats isn't such a chore for Sweet Tooth Rob. Desserts are always on the menu, and he's often topping up with his favourite cream and jam-filled donuts. In fact, Rob gets through an average of 832 donuts every year. That amounts to a staggering 220.
When you say 832 donuts in a year, like, yes, obviously that's a lot, but that's just like 2 donuts a day. I mean, obviously 2.3 donuts a day is too much, but you really aren't helping out the man.
20,000
The sugar and the fat in the cakes that Rob loves so much are contributing to his colossal weight. I'm hoping that when he sees the sheer quantity of what he gets through...
Bro, the dude is creepy. Don't let Rob fool you. The dude was very creepy.
Twice about tucking in the future.
So Dr. Christian is going to show him just what makes up his favourite sweet treats before revealing the damage they could be doing to his body.
I have deconstructed your 832 donuts a year, and we're going to create that mixture now with all of this ingredients so you can see exactly what goes into them. And you're going to help me. We have 20 kilos of flour. Pick it up a bucket and chuck it into the cement mix for me. 52 eggs. That's it, get them all in. There are 6 litres of vegetable oil, so in it goes. Stirring away quite nicely there. What do you think, Rob?
It's making me feel sick.
It's making you feel sick. But Rob, this is what you eat.
This is a really bad. Again, this is like what happened when they tried to do this last episode with the tea, where it's like the whole thing about like donuts and like baked goods, right? Is that they like expand when you cook them. So if I look at that, and they're like, "That's 832 donuts," I'm like, "That's not that much." Like that doesn't look like that much. I feel like I could eat that in like a week.
So we're going to put 3 kilos of sugar into there. You do yours. In it goes. 10 kilos of raspberry jam is what goes into your year's supply of donuts. So let's pour all that in too, shall we?
Oh.
16 litres of whipping cream. What do you think?
Oh, wonderful planning.
Every year, in total, that's 42 blocks of lard and almost 10 bags of sugar straight past Rob's lips.
I'm supposed to know what the fuck a bag of sugar. What is the unit measurement of block of lard or bag of sugar? Right? Are all bags of sugar in the UK the same size? I can go to Walmart and there's 3 different size bags of sugar.
Through quite that quantity.
No, I don't. It's quite embarrassing, really.
I suspect that a lot of your eating is what I call mindless eating. You fancy a donut now and again, but without thinking about it, it's added up to 16 a week, 832 a year, and this goes part the way to explain why the weight has been piling on over the years.
The high
More
quantities of fat and sugar
banger
in
music
have played a significant role in his obesity, which in turn can lead to hypertension and high cholesterol levels, putting Rob
The batter
at
probably
risk
did
of
go.
a stroke. In his teenage years, he's already suffered 2 mini strokes, so Dr. Christian wants him to face some hard facts about the medical impact of all those sweet treats.
This is a picture of an area of brain. All of this brain is healthy. It's this lovely white creamy colour, and it's got these beautiful pink blood vessels all over it. Can you see there's a slightly different area though on there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and what's different about this area?
It's all yellowy and gooey.
Well, there's none of the pink vessels going into it at all, and that's because the main branch that would supply all this area has been blocked somewhere.
This is your brain on fat. Fat. Not even one. I do, again, show this compared to in the first episode where they took the lady who drinks tea. They took Elaine. See if I can find it. And they were like, look at how you could go bald. You could have a weird looking tongue. Your fingernails could be yucky. And then here they're like, you're going to die, bud. Like, maybe talk about some health, like actual health issues here.
For some people who have a clot blocking a blood vessel supplying an important part of the brain, that clot may never clear, and that part of the brain dies through lack of blood supply. If that part of the brain is on the outer cortexes here, then it's going to affect some sort of movement, and the most common thing you see is a paralysis, a droop of one side of the facial muscles, a paralysis of one side of the body, the arm, the leg. It can be extremely debilitating. You can end up being in a wheelchair and entirely dependent on other people to look after you. So it is really important that you change, Rob, because this could be a possible future for you if you don't.
When I saw the section of the brain that had a stroke, it quite upset me. That could happen to me anytime.
Cake-loving Rob and food-averse Hayley are coming to the end of their first day of swapping diets to shock them into realising how unhealthy their portions really are. Hayley's last meal of the day is a double helping of Thai green curry with rice and cola.
Looks pretty fucking good.
Meal is slightly less substantial.
A stick of butter? She just eats a stick of butter?
A slice of goat's cheese and a sour sweet.
I can't believe.
Oh, it's goat cheese. Okay.
I was clearly just busy.
Busy. Hayley got me basically an empty plate.
I saw the wrapper on the sweet, and I just my brain went to like baking butter.
And a sweet about that size. Oh. Oh, you can't kill me off?
I think you are.
Are you gonna eat your?
I'd love to say yes, but I don't think there's many people in this world that could eat that much proportion for dinner.
That's not that big of a dinner, man. Come on. That's not that big of a dinner.
You eat. Let's be frank.
But having been confronted with her measly diet, which is putting her chances of having children in danger, Hayley's begun to grasp the need for change.
So far, I'm learning that I am capable of eating food. No one's making me not eat. It's purely down to me, and my excuses are rubbish at the moment. I need to start looking after myself.
Eating Hayley's diet does teach me that eating less is okay. Hayley has made a bit of progress today. She needs to push herself a bit further.
Look at him. He's even saying like, "Oh, you can do it." He's like, he's fat, gross, stinky, and he's like, "I do think Hayley can do it." He's just like, "No, he's a fucking bitch. He can't do anything."
Do it.
He was a creep. He was a cunt.
Fancy some toast?
It's day 2 in the feeding clinic, and while Rob sits down to a solitary cup of tea, Hayley attempts a sugar-loaded blend of toast with jam, 6 chocolate biscuits, orange juice, and more cola.
How are you enjoying your tea?
How can you see this is energy to start today?
I get that. It's not. It's rubbish.
Yeah. I've always been taught breakfast is the most important meal, and you can't call this a breakfast.
No.
If you click on your settings, you can do the profanity blocker. It's somewhere in the chat settings there.
Hayley needs to eat more breakfast because basically, when she drinks a cup of tea, no energy, no sugar, nothing in it. It's just pointless.
After having my toast and stuff, I've started to perk up a little bit. So really strangely, in a completely backward way, it has shown me that breakfast does actually perk you up a little bit as well. My energy levels now have actually started to increase after breakfast, which is a really, really nice feeling.
The penny seems to have finally dropped with Hayley that skipping breakfast every day is doing her more harm than good. But worried that Rob may still be in denial, Dr. Christians asked him to take a trip down memory lane to help understand the root of his unhealthy habits.
I say the cake's coming round about you.
How was school then? Were you bullied at all because of, your weight here?
Not bullied, but I was always part like the in-crowd anyway. I was just like the joke.
Okay.
Play the joke on.
Did you ever feel like the children were particularly playing the jokes on just you all the time?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Did that ever upset you?
Yeah, it did actually, yeah.
Why is she playing therapist to him right? Why don't they get an actual fucking therapist to be therapist? Why are they making the other person in the house who clearly doesn't like him? Like, she's like literally being like, and did they call you names? Did they call you Porky? They call you Fatty? They call you Rubber Tub Tub? That's what I want to call you right now. So it just makes sense if that's what they called you back then. He's just like, yeah, they did actually. Yeah.
So people have upset you quite a lot. And you've obviously never faced it, really, have you? You've instead just eaten cakes and things.
Looking at the photos have been really helpful, and I unlocked something. I realised that people were treating me like the class clown. Dr. Christian pointed out yesterday that I was Mr. Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking for the 5-minute segment where they actually do something. Must be right here.
That'll mean cutting out the comfort to the huge portions. Speaking of which...
Oh my goodness. That's your lunch. And more cola as well, I see.
Another salami stick isn't providing much consolation for Rob. His earlier reflections are still playing on his mind.
Oh, you just don't seem as happy as you did earlier. I'm a bit worried about you, really.
Some of it to do it, yeah, to be honest.
What parts of it?
Like the stuff I remembered from looking at one photo.
How did you feel when that sort of dawned on you?
His accent's crazy. I cannot understand. I need like actual. I wish there was actual closed captioning. I do not understand what he's saying.
I'm more upset than anything inside.
Yeah, but you didn't want to go for a cake?
No.
See, that's quite a breakthrough in itself, surely.
Yeah, it was a bit of a breakthrough, yeah.
Rob is beginning to deal with the emotional triggers behind his eating habits. But sometimes problems with food can indicate a more complex mental disorder. Last year, we put 3 women with eating disorders...
Yeah, he only has 6 teeth. That's right. I forgot about that. That's not a very, like, conducive... Like, that's not a very good meal to eat with only 6 teeth.
...designed to snap them out of their dangerous eating habits. The course was created and supervised by some of Britain's leading eating disorder specialists. On the course was Emma Poor, whose anorexia seemed deeply entrenched.
I'm constantly thinking about food all day, every day, constantly in fear of it.
Emma's weight had plummeted to as low as 5 stone, and she'd been hospitalised for 4 months before she took part in the course led by dietitian Ursula Philpott.
She was so malnourished, so depressed.
His music
so
is crazy.
The eating disorder affects everything. It scares me to think how many years I've lost already. I want a life.
Yeah, the music is so loud.
Months on, and Emma's unrecognisable.
People's reaction to me has changed. The amount of times I've bumped into people and sort of said hello and chatting away, and then they've realised a few minutes later who I am.
I feel like the hair is doing a lot of the lifting. Like, obviously, she's put on weight, which is good for her, but like, the hair, it's a completely different hair color.
And chatting away, and then they've realised a few minutes later who I actually am, and they've all said, you know, they didn't recognise me. I'm just so pleased to have the old Emma back. It's a new me.
During the 8-week programme, Emma had a plaster cast taken of her body, which made her realise just how bad her anorexia had become.
At the moment, I can't imagine myself.
That's crazy.
Bringing myself to look at it. I know I look bad.
Just have a look. Just open your eyes and have a look.
What does this? I mean, okay. What does this do that like a mirror doesn't do? This is what I was saying. And then I said, obviously, body dysmorphia. They're trying to make a point about body dysmorphia, but like, I feel like this is so fucked. I don't know. This feels so fucked to like make a fucking plaster cast. That's crazy.
You don't want to look.
Because it is just so skeletal.
And for Emma, shopping for clothes was a nightmare.
I find it very difficult to find clothes that fit. Most of the time I have to go into kids sections. I just feel I'm not worthy of nice clothes.
But now things couldn't be more different.
I've got 2 things I'm pleased about being able to wear again. One of them is being able to get my...
I don't know British words. I
got 2
totally thought that said minstrel. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy that you just got a minstrel changing. He just walks out in like the most racist minstrel outfit. Yeah, like, again, I don't know. I'm not an ED expert either. They focus so much on like, and again, it'll be interesting to see if it's different when we get to somebody who's small and is a man, And if they focus so much on looks, I mean, I guess they still can, right? Because men are supposed to be like buff and like strong looking by societal standards. So maybe they will, but it'll be interesting to see. Because so far, out of the 4 women that they've shown, the 2 from the last episode and then the 2 here that have been underweight, it's all been like, you aren't hot. Edie is also eating disorder. Like, and like, that's bad that you aren't hot and you're not fertile. And so like, it's definitely interesting.
I'm pleased about being able to wear again. One of them is being able to get my jeans out again and actually to think, I've got a backside.
Yeah, everybody's obviously different. And like, if that's what you need, then obviously it's good, right? And clearly, this person right now, it's working for her. Right, because you can see how much more confident she is and how much better she feels. But it just feels strange. I wish I were hot and flat. Damn.
Also, totally embarrassing, but it's nice to be able to go out and get some nice bras now because you've got a chest again. Doing the program helped me a lot, far more than I was expecting. I just desperately wanted my life back again.
It's been over a year since Emma met up with dietitian Ursula, and today they're meeting for lunch.
Wow! What a difference! My goodness! Wow! Yeah! That's amazing! That's absolutely amazing! I'm going to go for the risotto, which was the special.
And I had the char-grilled squid, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a
Hot
difference
gang.
in choosing. You know, you're straight there.
Fertile gang, where my fertile gang at?
This tastes good. This sounds lovely.
It's a lot quicker, isn't it?
Yes.
Last year I would have been, you know, how much fish is that? Is that too much fish? You know, what's the portion size? But no, doesn't worry me this time. I'll sit down and enjoy it.
Recovering from an eating disorder takes a long time and dogged persistence. The average length in treatment is about
Yeah, the risotto doesn't look very good.
If your friend or relative is recovering from an eating disorder, non-judgmental patience and
swimmers are
support are really
stinkers.
important. Not criticising, but explaining a healthy rationale for sensible eating.
Oh,
is
sinkers. Why did I read that as
as
stinkers?
is eating together and offering encouragement and support.
When I was anorexic, I could be sort of happy one moment and then really quite...
Yep, this is the designated 5-minute section where they have a psychiatrist on, and then they never talk about her again.
Nappy and aggressive the next.
You know, an incredible change. You know, really, really happy to see her. In such
We're
good
almost
health.
there. We're almost through on this one.
Now,
Got
a lot
7
more
minutes.
chilled and can have a laugh again and enjoy life again.
Cheers.
Back in the feeding clinic, it's time for the Last Supper, and Rob and Hayley seem to have turned a corner in their attitudes towards food. Hayley almost seems to be looking forward to her tea time helping of 2 portions of chicken curry with rice and chips, whilst Rob gets to tuck into 2 chicken drumsticks and a pile of crisps.
Are you going to eat much of that?
Yeah, I think I will. Do you think you're going to be satisfied after eating that?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's actually filling me up.
Is it?
Mm.
I found this meal so much easier than food yesterday. Kind of enjoyed it as well. And felt that I've sort of eaten loads more than I would have done before.
What are you going to eat more when you leave here?
I think the most important thing I've learned is eating breakfast and lunch. You know, regardless of what it is, to eat something.
Yeah, my man does not have good
I
cutlery
really
skills.
enjoy this meal. I'm comfortable, full.
Good. It's really nice to hear.
So the time has come for Dr. Christian to hand over their healthy eating plans.
You've done your time here in the feeding clinic and you are off home. Rob, that is your diet plan.
Rob's diet plan is designed to switch his eating from mindless to mindful. He'll be on 3,000 calories a day, swapping cola for sugar-free alternatives.
Wait, what?
And cream cakes, 1,000 calories a day.
Why is he on 3,000 when... Does he really need 800? What was Helen on last episode? Like 2,300, 700.
Cola
What a
for
difference.
sugar-free alternatives and cream cakes for healthier snacks, such as low-fat yogurt and mini snack bars.
I mean, I guess we already know that.
Hayley's plan.
I guess we already know that they aren't giving us the real numbers because we did the math.
Her daily calorie intake more than double to 2,200. As well as starting each day with breakfast, she needs to eat starchy foods such as bread, brown rice.
He's a growing boy, that's right.
Which will reduce her need for quick sugar fixes.
I think you're both going to do really well, and I wish you the best of luck. Okay? Bye-bye.
It's been an eye-opener, and I'm quite overwhelming, emotional.
Come on, Rob, you got this, buddy. We're all rooting for you.
More, say no a lot more, and get this weight off.
I've gone from barely touching a meal to now not even.
Recommended weight loss is to lose between 1 to 2 pounds of fat a week, okay? And roughly 2,000 calories over the course of a week is equivalent to 1 pound of fat. So, it depends on your day-to-day, and it depends on, you know, what works for you. Typically, you don't want to necessarily count super tight because it can actually be degenerative for some people. But yeah, what you're going for is a 2,000 calorie deficit over the course of a week, and that's going to be where you want to be for healthy weight loss. And that's going to make you lose 1 pound of fat a week. You might lose more weight than that at the beginning because of water weight, and you might lose less than that or gain less than that because of water weight. It depends on
just getting down and eating it. It was really sort of quite impressive. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Well, goodbye then.
Good luck with everything.
Keep in touch.
He got the hug. Rob got the fucking hug, baby.
It's time to show Dr. Christian how they've got on without him. It's been 9 weeks since cake-loving Rob Gillett and chronic food dodger Payne left the feeding clinic.
What happened to her foot?
Hyperactive Hayley's not been running around quite as much just lately.
I'm on crutches because I ran up the stairs without turning the light on and ran straight into a wall and broke my toe.
It's time to find out if they've stuck to the healthy eating plans.
Today, I'm hoping to see a good sort of half a stone would be nice.
The irony of her getting diabetes.
Fantastic.
So how's it all been going? You're looking very well indeed.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been going really, really well. I've really enjoyed it as well. Found it really difficult to begin with.
What did you find hard? Tell me.
I felt like I was force-feeding myself.
Because you kind of were, I suppose.
Yeah.
Weren't you? But did that gradually change into a sort of more normal way of life?
I started getting more and more hungry, more regularly, which was really.
The producers broke it for sympathy. They realized that her character was too unlikable, so they had to give her a sympathy point with the broken foot.
I mean, clearly you're oozing confidence because you look great.
He is hitting on her. This is white woman privilege 101. This man is fucking hitting. I mean, I guess he's gay, right? Right? Is that what you said, Taylor? This is just white woman privilege. He is just getting on with her. And then Rob's going to come in. He's going to be like, oh, he's still a bit fat, though, yeah? Still a bit fat.
It's much easier to look in the mirror now rather than seeing sort of skin and bones. I'm actually sort of seeing a bit more of a shape, which is lovely.
You mentioned that you'd quite like to have children in the future. Do you feel that you have a more healthy base from which to do that now?
Yeah, I mean, before it really worried me.
Yeah, bring in the penis music, baby.
Future plans. Now, as I'm really getting the hang of looking after myself, I know that's definitely going to be able to be in my future.
That's really good to hear.
I mean, come on. He might be bisexual. He just said, hey, do you think you're going to be fertile anytime soon? And she said, maybe. And then this is the look he's giving her. I mean, come on.
Yeah, good. I'm delighted. Thanks, Hayley.
Thank you very much for your help.
Why don't we go in the box and see if you are fertile? We'll see if any of this takes.
It's been really exciting today. I'm looking forward to my way in to see how much I've lost. It's been a really good experience so far.
Come on, let's go.
I just hope I've lost a bit of weight.
So tell me what you've been doing. What changes have you made?
More fruit, more veg, cut out the rubbish, I call it, like sweets, the cream cakes.
Oh, the cream cakes are no more or just less?
No, no more.
Do you miss them?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
And so tell me, what are you noticing about your body? What's changing?
My stomach's going down. I'm losing, like...
Hey, good for him.
They've gone down a bit, haven't they?
A lot.
I mean, this guy also has a very punchable face. But good for him.
Excellent. You're happy with that?
Yeah. I'm more active than I was.
So what sort of things are you doing activity-wise?
Swimming.
Really?
3 times a week. Gym 3 times a week.
Perfect.
That's really good news. I'm delighted.
time for Rob and Haley to be
Swimming is a really good exercise for weight loss because you don't realize how many calories you're burning because you're getting cooled off by the water. So if you have the access to swimming, but again, this goes down to like privilege and why like poor people are at the result of weight gain because they don't have access to this kind of stuff. But if you have access to swimming, it's easier on your joints. You burn a lot of calories, and it's fucking fun when it's warm out or if you're in it.
reacquainted.
Are you all right?
What's happened to you then?
I broke my toe. How are you doing?
All right, how are you doing? You looking well?
Thank you. You look really healthy.
I don't know if he needs to wear horizontal stripes there. I mean, somebody get this man a stylist. Somebody needs to tell him about what horizontal stripes do. Like maybe some vertical stripes, bud. You're 5'4". You need to look taller.
You look young as well.
Yeah, put him straight on to
Right,
what
lovely
not to
old
wear.
charmer you. Listen to you go out.
Jump him
Didn't
straight
you,
over.
Brian?
Yeah, she does.
I think you've both done me proud. I have to say, I'm going to put you out of your misery right at the beginning and tell you you've done all right, both of you. Haley, I'm going to start off with you.
Okay.
I think, you know, it was going to be hard work with you. There were a lot of things to change, but somehow you managed to turn it around. You've done fantastically well. You've put on just under half a stone. You've put on 6 pounds, which is amazing. And 3 inches around your hips. And you're going to love this one. 2 inches on your boobs. Happy?
What the fuck, Christian? No way. Come on. This. What? This is a man who's about to tell a woman she got 2 inches on her boobs. He went from a 32A to a 34A. Is that how that works?
Happy? I thought you would be. And
Again, skinny woman, you're going to be hotter if you put on weight. Fat guy, it's going to be funnier. 32A to 32C. Hey, I was fucking close.
Ain't done so bad either, mister. I was worried about you, Rob. I'll be honest. I thought the sense of denial that you had was so big, but you've done all right. You've lost 1 stone, 10 pounds. You're getting on for 2
Let's
stone
fucking go, Rob.
You've lost off your time.
Oh, we feel for the fucking man.
Your thighs, which is amazing.
Yeah.
18 fucking pounds.
Because you've clearly worked hard at this, and I'm really proud of the both of you.
Boobs are like British people. They don't exist.
3 inches on my hips and 2 inches on my boobs. That is exactly what I wanted. I said boobs and bum, that's all I'm after. So I'm really, really chuffed for that.
I now know I've lost 1 stone, 10 pounds. I feel more healthier, lighter. I'm going to go home and lose even more.
Deeper, that's the straightest thing you could ever say. Boobs are overrated. I just want you to know that. That is the straightest thing you can say. Everybody loves boobs. All right, y'all. That's it. That is it. We're done. Did we have fun? That was about as crazy as I was expecting it to be. Maybe even crazier. I got real fucking heated at one point. So I'm happy. I love watching shit that makes me angry.